Hello soccer fans, welcome to Manchester United Erik ten Hag sack news update. Erik ten Hag sacked as Manchester United manager. Manchester United has sacked manager Erik ten Hag, the Premier League club said, with the Old Trafford side 14th in the standings after 9 games. Erik ten Hag has left his role as Manchester United men's first-team manager, the club said in a statement on Monday. Ruud van Nistelrooy will take charge of the team as interim head coach, supported by the current coaching team, whilst a permanent head coach is recruited. The 54-year-old Dutchman's job was the subject of speculation for most of last season as United recorded their worst Premier League finish in 8th. With British billionaire and Ineos chairman Jim Ratcliffe taking over football operations last season, the club initially stuck with Ten Hag to have continuity in the manager's position during a time of change, but United did not see any momentum or progress to believe they were on the right path. A poor start to the season also saw United draw their first 3 Europa League games from winning positions. Sunday's 2-1 Premier League loss at lowly West Ham United, in which Ten Hag's side failed to capitalise on numerous chances, only increased the media speculation that he would be sacked. United finished last term with a surprise FA Cup final win over Manchester City, and Ten Hag pointed to the team's numerous injuries to help explain their poor form. He signed a new contract to extend his stay until 2026 and get another chance to restore the 20 times English League champions to former glories. United's woeful start to this season has come despite more than £600 million $779.28 million being spent on new players since Ten Hag took charge ahead of the 2022-23 campaign. Another news, Erik ten Hag sacked live, Ruben Amorim, in talks, as Manchester United line up next manager. Manchester United are in talks with Ruben Amorim after Erik ten Hag was sacked just weeks into the season. The Sporting coach is understood to be considering the opportunity after the Old Trafford hierarchy put the 39-year-old at the top of their list to replace Ten Hag, who was relieved of his duties just 4 months after signing a 1-year contract extension. United made their worst ever start to a Premier League campaign under Ten Hag, and former striker Ruud van Nistelrooy will take interim charge while the search for a permanent head coach is conducted. There has also been interest in Ipswich's Kieran McKenna and Brentford's Thomas Frank, while Spain legend and former Barcelona boss Xavi is available. Man United in talks to make Ruben Amorim new manager to replace Erik ten Hag. Manchester United are in talks to try and appoint Ruben Amorim, with the Sporting CP head coach now understood to be considering the opportunity. The Old Trafford hierarchy have put the 39-year-old top of their list, having not considered him during the summer. They are also willing to negotiate with the Portuguese club about a release fee. United are seeking to impress on Amorim the opportunity that the job presents, in what would almost serve as a clean slate. With interest having grown since the start of the season, Amorim is known to have been reluctant to leave Sporting mid-season. The Portuguese has restored the club to glory, and already has them clear at the top of the table in what would be a third title, after 2020-21 and 2023-24. Manchester United willing to meet release clause for Amorim. Reports on Monday evening suggested Manchester United were moving quickly to replace Ten Hag and were willing to pay the £8.3 million release clause to secure 39-year-old Amorim, whose Sporting Lisbon side sit top of the Portuguese table. Amorim has won 2 Portuguese titles and 2 League Cups with Sporting since joining the club in March 2020. Garnacho responds to Ten Hag's departure. Alejandro Garnacho wrote on Instagram and wished Erik ten Hag all the best. He said, "Thank you for everything, boss. I will always be grateful to you for giving me the opportunity and the confidence to play for this club. It hasn't gone as well as we wanted, but I will remember the good times we had together, and I wish you all the best in the future. Thank you very much, Erik." Man United in Amorim talks as Ten Hag's successor sought. Manchester United are in talks about appointing Sporting manager Ruben Amorim as Erik ten Hag's replacement. Dutchman Ten Hag was sacked on Monday following the side's poor start to the season. Amorim, 39, is a highly regarded coach who has won 2 Portuguese league titles with Sporting, including their first in 19 years, since joining in 2020. The extent of the talks over Amorim are not known. It is also not clear whether other alternatives remain in the frame to take the Old Trafford job. However, Amorim is now becoming the leading candidate. Speaking at a news conference on Monday, Portuguese Amorim said he was expecting a question about the Manchester United job but was not prepared to talk about it. United have appointed Ten Hag's assistant Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim manager but have so far refused to clarify how long the Dutchman will remain in charge, or whether he will definitely be in post for Wednesday's Carabao Cup tie with Leicester at Old Trafford. The club has already ruled out Van Nistelrooy conducting a pre-match media conference on Tuesday. Ten Hag spoke about the EFL Cup game after Sunday's defeat by West Ham. Although United have spoken about the financial impact of paying compensation to Ten Hag and an incoming coach, others with a knowledge of United's finances have suggested this will not be an insurmountable issue. Sporting paid Amorim's former club Braga €10 (£8.3 million) to secure his services in 2020. Amorim, whose contract runs until June 2026, held talks with West Ham in April, but there was no agreement, and the Portuguese subsequently apologised to Sporting for holding discussions behind the club's back. Sunday's 2-1 defeat at West Ham left Manchester United 14th in the Premier League with 3 wins from their opening 9 matches. They are also 21st of 36 teams in the Europa League table, having drawn the 3 opening fixtures. Amorim could be something special. Analysis. There has been no confirmation from Manchester United about the talks with Amorim, which in itself tells a story. It is understood there is a hefty compensation figure involved, which could be around €10 million (£8.3 million), although given the amount United spent on players over Ten Hag's time at the club, that is a drop in the ocean. The gamble, and no matter who they go for, that is what it will be, would centre around Amorim's lack of experience outside Portugal and how he will deal